Are humans naturally selfish? Selfishness is putting one's needs first at the expense of someone else. It could be greed or lack of caring or even self indulgence. And this is a very good type of selfishness that allows you to be good to others by putting yourself first and taking care of yourself. The other type of selfishness is taking advantage of people in order to gain some material or non-material profit. It can be as a result of hate, envy, jealousy, or arrogance. This is a negative type of selfishness and it is not very good for you. Despite lots of negativities around selfishness, many psychologists agree that it is important to be selfish in order to survive in this world. What do you think? Are we naturally selfish? Well, it is easier to be selfish than selfless. And this is because humans are wired to think of only themselves before another. And even when they think about other people, it is only related to their own feelings and desires. We do not want the people we love to be in pain, so we help them out. But do you know why? It is because we do not want to feel sad or unhappy when they are down. This can be a selfless act, but it is benefiting everyone at the same time, so the selfish reasons for doing it are often overlooked. Let us have a look at the two philosophers who regarded humans as natural selfish individuals. John Locke and Thomas Hobbes created great philosophical texts regarding human nature. Human nature is basically natural human behaviors, how they think, feel, or act. Hobbes believes humans are sophisticated machines and man is naturally individualistic and not a social animal by nature. Therefore, our societies came to be as a result of the power of state, and that man is purely selfish in nature and craves to be alone in thoughts and deeds. Otherwise, without the power of state, societies would not work. Man is morally selfish, hedonistic, and have a physical appetite. The set rules, therefore, are to restrain men from pursuing their own selfish desires and powers. John Locke, on the other hand, founded his political theory on social contract. He believed human nature allowed man to be selfish. Unlike Hobbes' theory, he believed human is naturally a social animal driven by reason and tolerance. Humans were not sophisticated but blank beings who gain knowledge by learning and experience. Therefore, according to Thomas Hobbes and John Locke, humans are naturally selfish. Humans will always think of their own survival and the survival of their own genes, and they will always want the best things for themselves. And this is the reason why our species survived through the years. Humans seek power and passions, and they need authority to restrain them from their selfish desires. Unlike Locke's ideology that man is driven by reason and tolerance, but they do both agree that human nature allows man to be selfish, otherwise they wouldn't have survived through these heavy years. Man is programmed to think of himself first before another. People in power could be seen as taking advantage of others, but when you give anyone power, they will still act the same. They will gain more and more for themselves and with time forget about the existence of other individuals. And it is only natural. However, the negative connotations regarding selfishness should stop. Not all kinds of selfishness are bad. If it is about preserving one's sanity, then no one ought to guilt-trip another person. In most cases, we call others selfish because of our own selfish reasons. What comes to your mind when you think of you? Think of all the good things you can ever want for yourself. The more you do your self-care, the more fulfilled you will be. It can be selfish, but it is worth it for you and for your loved ones. Selfishness has more pros than cons, but why is it still such a bad thing to be selfish? First, it is not bad to be selfish when it is solely for your own mental, physical, emotional, psychological, or even financial well-being. And as long as you're not taking advantage of anyone else, there is absolutely no problem with being yourself. There is nothing wrong with being selfish. It is not selfish to care for yourself, your well-being, and your satisfaction. Our cultures despise this action for selfish reasons. Being selfish will make one understand his true nature, be in control of his decisions, and rationally analyze what is more important in his life. But no society wishes for individualistic people. Togetherness in love is the main drive for selflessness, and it will want service for others at the expense of your own desires. It is up to an individual to set his own boundaries. But then, if you do not put yourself first, who is going to? Selfishness helps one to nurture self-love, self-care, and self-nourishment. Everyone else is having themselves first. Some people will guilt you to give more and more until you can't anymore. And even then, they will still call you selfish. It is up to you to create your own personal boundaries. Oftentimes, people who know what they want and go for them are called selfish because they do not have time for other people's selfish desires. Many people who call others selfish never even reciprocate selflessness. Learning to say no to people will not only be healthy but also protect you from unnecessary life dramas. And speak up without the feeling of getting judged. Okay? Naturally, when you are selfless without taking care of your own self, you will end up depleted. We cannot give what we do not have. Therefore, the need for extra time and extra self-care and going extra mile to ensure you are well enough. We should give out and receive energy to ensure the fullness of our souls. If your self-care and well-being is considered selfish, then how are you supposed to be selfless when you are mentally exhausted? You will not have the energy to give out any good vibes. As an introvert myself, I like having my alone time, and I've been called selfish for wanting a couple hours alone in a week. I need half a day in a week for myself. While if I do not have it, I end up feeling exhausted and empty. If having my time is being selfish, how am I going to be energized to feel even more better the following week? In this case, being selfish is very positive to my own health, and it provides room for self-growth and healthy relationships. Are we naturally selfish? Absolutely. Everyone is born selfish, and it's our natural trait. We do everything for our own benefit, be it material or non-material. First, we came alone in this world, and we will die alone. In between, we ensure survival of our own selves. Why else are you waking up every morning? To live another day? You anticipate for peace, yeah? It doesn't mean we are not human. People will do anything to ensure they help the others in need as long as they are in a position to. In case of an accident, people will come together to help the victims as fast as they can. Being selfish with our own well-being doesn't make us inhumane. It only makes us become better versions of ourselves. And in that best selves of ours, we can get the energy to help another and feel good about it. People have limits. When you say philanthropists are selfless, well, they do it for one reason or another. One major reason is self-fulfillment. Another reason could be fame or a marketing strategy. People will always have personal reasons when doing things, and if you analyze their reasons, you realize they had personal beneficial reasons for doing it. Empathy is the main drive for helping the lowly. The pain and suffering have no positive effect on us, and we should all try to eradicate pain on us and others as well, every time. For whatever reason, we are still of the same species. Selfishness is great though, if it is for the purpose of your own personal growth. As long as you are not harming anybody, my fellow human being. Just choose what you do with all the time in your hands. One must be selfish in order to achieve his own real happiness. As long as you are genuinely happy with your life, people calling you selfish will not be a bother. You will dance with the angels. Not having a degree of selfishness will definitely kill you. The world is insatiable. Imagine giving out all of your resources to people in need. You will definitely die from hunger, cold, or even mental disorders. So, you have to be selfish for your own survival sometimes. Putting oneself first is one way to ensure one's own survival. Since the onset of morality, selfishness has been a negative vice within human societies. And a closer look will confirm to you that this said vice was the biggest initiator of morality. Humans were naturally choosing the best resources for themselves. Since the resources were scarce, many more vices came to play. Morality, therefore, was meant to tame this behavior. Selfishness. To be happily successful, one should practice some amount of selfishness. That includes being selfish with their time, desires, well-being. One should only follow what is important to him. Striving to make other people happy at the expense of your own desires will only make you feel odd. The more indebted you feel, the higher chances of betrayal and sadness, and negative emotions will emerge from you, which will not produce any good fruit. We can avoid those common words of betrayal like, I did everything for her and she still left me, or I helped her through everything and she still left, or I found you with nothing and I still loved you. How could you leave me? Anyway, these are the statements we hear from broken people most of the time. From the statements, it is clear that these people probably did all these things for some selfish reasons that benefits only them. In the journey of selflessness, they did it in order to gain something. And now that they fail to gain fruits from their selfless deeds, they feel really sad and betrayed. What good then will being selfless with selfish reasons help you with? Just be selfish when need be. Save yourself the troubles of betrayal. When you do something because you wanted to, you will not feel sad even if things went so. Either way, you'll bear the consequences and move on. It is not bad to be selfish. In every human being, there is a degree of selfish desires as long as they don't harm another person. They should not be considered bad. The cosmic design clearly shows that people will always look for the best thing for themselves. We could even use piglets as an example. Once born, they will always look for the teat with more milk. A child will always want the best toy for himself and not another. It is only natural. We should therefore not shame it as long as it is for the best of us. People will only call you selfish when you fail to fulfill their own selfish desires. And trust me, when you agree to things you innately do not wish to do, but still agree because of fear of being judged, then that is very harmful to you, and I call it bad energy. You will end up feeling depressed for not making your own choices while others will be happy you did help. It is a stupid sacrifice of self to please another who might not even remember your depressed ass. Then, when they fail to repay your good deeds, you feel like doing harm to yourself or others. Please say no to things you do not want to do. Be selfish for once, as long as it's for your own good. It is our natural behavior to think of ourselves first before thinking of others. And no one should trip you into thinking you are sinning. Again, being selfish will help you avoid manipulators. You will only do things because you want to and not because of someone else. So let's look at why bad things happen to good people. Good people are mostly selfless in nature. They are the ones who want to see everyone happy, and they are the ones who think of others before them. Why do bad things happen to them then? It is only because no one tries to help them out when they are in trouble. No one believes they can need any help at any moment, and so no one goes to them. Whatever happens to them is never out of the ordinary problems. But since no one comforts them as they wish to receive, they will feel sad and think bad things always follow them. Most good people have to learn to create boundaries to how far they can go in selflessness. We need a balance though, and they can balance out extremely selfish people. And wow, I think their pure souls quite rare though. Otherwise, we should be selfless sometimes, but even in those times, we should be having desires of self-fulfillment, driving us to do more. Someone helping another because it makes him feel good about himself. That's a good way to show selflessness and selfishness all in one. But then, we are in a cruel world. Yourself should always come first before another human. You are still the most important thing in your own life, and you must try as much as possible to take care of yourself. Always remember, you are the reason you are alive, and as long as you live, You have the best in life. Have the freedom to be you. Make yourself a priority every single day. And with that, please share, comment, and subscribe. Bye.